Hello and welcome to PlantPlots, our series on how to design your garden. We always try to make gardening easier, so here are our 10 rules to remember before you think about picking up a spade. Okay, the most important rule, your environment. Trying to fit a square peg in a round hole will always create extra work. So if you want a garden that's not only easy to look after, but one that also looks good for much of the year, you need to work with your weather. So what this means is, yes, you can grow flowers in the desert. Of course we can. We can put plants in places where they're not going to be happiest growing. But if we do that, we know that we're going to have to work that much harder to keep our garden looking good. What we have to ask ourselves is, what are our plants going to actually have to cope with? So are these plants, for example, thriving in this exposed sunny space with poor stony soil? Or have we really planted them and just left them to the mercy of the elements? There are lots of plants that will thrive in lots of different environments, even in gloomy corners like this. It's a question of getting the right plant in the right place. So garden really is all about making sure you put plants in places where they're happy growing, because that way they'll be quite happy looking after themselves, which means you don't have to. Rule 2. Dare to be different. It's your garden, and what you like and dislike is not going to be the same as the neighbours, so your garden doesn't have to look the same as the neighbours. Rule 3. If you're going to get a garden that suits you, you need to ask the question of what you want your garden to do for you. Which could be things like making the garden appear wider and just more interesting, or creating a view for you to look at for something at the end of the garden, or simply just to make the garden look more colourful and vibrant and fun to be in. Rule 4. Looking at pictures of wonderfully expensive, amazing gardens. What you want for your garden is unique to you, and your garden has its own quirks and unique environment. So although it's lovely looking at these pictures of these fantastic gardens, you can't transfer much of what they have into your back garden. Rule 5. What do you really dislike about gardening? There are no laws or rules that say what a garden must have and what a garden mustn't have. So for the garden to really work for you, it surely should contain more of the things you like doing and contain less of the things you dislike doing. Rule 6. What do we really, really like? Then you need to write down all the things that are important to you and that you would like your garden to have, like a large barbecue area or a really nice secluded seating area. You want to include the colours that you like, whether you like objects like stone balls or whether you want your seating to be wooden or you like metal seating. And all of this helps you form a plan. But once we have our plan, we also have to match our wish list and our expectations with reality. How much time are you really going to put into your garden each week? How much time do you want to spend gardening each week? Because if the plan that you have and the time that you have available don't match, you are always going to be playing catch up in the garden and it's never going to look as nice as you want it to. Rule 8. Choosing the plants. Plant labels are designed to encourage us to buy the plant, so they have beautiful pictures of wonderful flowers and they tell us all the good bits about the plant. But it's really, really important you actually look at what the label says. All plants start really small, but they don't stay small. So here, for example, this plant will grow to 6 meters by 6 meters. That's really, really big. So if you haven't really got enough space to park a bus in your garden, you won't be wanting one of these. By going through this process, you'll have asked questions of what the garden will actually have to cope with, what the weather will be like, and how things will grow in your garden. And you've also looked at the things that you'd like to have in your garden and the things that you'd like to avoid. So this gives you a checklist. Now, it won't tell you how to create the actual design of your garden, but it will keep you on track when you're planning how to design your garden, because you'll include those things that you want and you'll leave out those things that you really don't. But by having your checklist, it will keep you buying the plants that your garden needs and that you know will grow well in your garden, and avoiding all these lovely tasty treats that the garden centres would like you to buy instead. And finally, our last rule, Rule 10. Be patient. And so to our transformation of our little row of box balls. We hope you like what we've done. If you'd like to get a more gorgeous garden but don't know where to start, why not visit our website, plantplots.com, with 400 pages of advice and designs that you can download to get your garden looking fantastic. Or email us design@plantplots.com. Thanks for watching.